Hello, everyone, and good morning. Subramanya Bharati, 1882 1921, is a great Tamil poet, famous for his patriotism in the pre independence era. A.K. Ramanujan is a Kannada and English poet, well known for his translation of classical and modern poetry. Actually, without any introduction, without any prior information, I just submitted two names. The one is Subramanya Bharati, another one is A.K. Ramanujan. I did this day because these two are interconnected. These two are the primary source of this beautiful information that I am going to supply to you in the form of the beautiful poem Wind. Students, two great poets, they came in contact with each other, maybe personally, maybe on behalf of any kind of platform. But over here we are supposed to get across that there was a classical poet, there was his classical poetry that he composed once. Later on, when the composition was actually, it was in Tamil, so it becomes difficult because every language and every dialect will be having its extension, and after that it becomes limited. So to make it omnipresent, to make it universal, there must be an access. So here comes after Subramanya Bharati, who composed his poem, and later on the composition has been translated into English language by A.K. Ramanujan, the great poet again. So they both came in contact. They both came in contact with the verses. The verses were translated. The verses were transformed into different dictions, different language. But the spirit and the soul was kept hidden. Behind the words, it can be possible you can disclose it if you are having the heart, if you are having the senses that the poem needs, that the words needs, the explanation needs. So here we can call it, putting our best efforts. We all collectively will move ahead with the beautiful poem Wind. Every poem, either it is small or it is big, it connects itself to the life itself. The life is not an individual aspect or an individual spectrum or an individual word, because life is a collective scenario of many things that compiles in itself the real definition of life. So if you are able to go into the depth of any poem, then perhaps you are able to find out a specific element of life hidden in it. If I give you a chance, as we are not on the platform where we can create questions and cross questions one and on, but even then, if the life has to be defined in a challenging way, okay, in a way where it faces a lot of challenges, then if we want to compose a poem on behalf of those challenges, then we will be having many elements of nature that can be able to give us not only the strength, but even then, a picture of those challenges. Like simply if we talk about sunlight, simply if we talk about sun, it is the living God. Okay, it is for us the living God, because whatever moving flora and fauna and moving scenario on the earth we are having, that is because of sun only. But even then, when summer happens, when summer occurs, when summer falls, we hate sun. We are burnt by his sun rays. But we forget at that time that what we are doing, what we are thinking, because this heat will lead to the moisture, to the rainfall, to the construction of the clouds, making of the clouds, and then ultimately the cycle of the season will be maintained with such kind of fluctuating themes. So it means with a little extension, with a little expansion in our view, we will be able to help out ourselves, okay, thinking and rethinking. In this poem, after acquiring the poetic device of personification, very beautifully, the wind has been explained. Try to find yourself comfortable with my explanation as well as with the text, as well as the theme and the real picture behind the text. Okay, so when we move ahead with the text, at the beginning you will be having very simply the personification of the winds, because here the poet wants to create a conversation with the poet, and what he says, wind, come softly as if he is talking to a speaker, as if he is talking to someone whom he is actually acquainted with, he is familiar with, and like a friendly conversation. So he is saying, wind, come softly. As I told you earlier also, the sun is worshipped in winter, but it is hated in summer. So everything will be consisting of many dimensions, sometimes hatred, sometimes like, sometimes dislike. So here also, when we find the wind blowing gently, we love it, we respect it, we enjoy it. But when it moves, but when it blows in a cyclonic way, then it creates a destruction that is not accepted, that is not regarded or respected by anyone, even not welcomed by anyone. So here also, even the cyclonic nature of the wind also create a kind of construction for the nature that we forget while we are becoming individualistic about our own opinion, because we think about ourselves that it is harmful to us, so it might be harmful to everyone. No, it doesn't happen actually. The thing that is harmful to you may be beneficial to something else. But even then, at the beginning, the poet is becoming individualistic, okay? And with his, you can call confined opinion, he is saying, wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Because he is creating a picture of the cyclonic nature and the consequences and the outcomes. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. So a live picture has been created when wind blows in a cyclonic way, okay, in a stormy way. Then what happens? It starts breaking the shutters of the windows. It starts scattering the papers. It starts throwing the books from the shelf, and sometimes even all down. Because if it becomes horrible, then all the books can be can be thrown down by the, you can call, power and by the strength of the wind. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. Rain is welcomed when it actually it is dropped by the sky at the beginning. But when it starts happening regularly, frequently, then what happens? We start thinking, oh God, again the rain, again the rain. We want to go outside. We want to let the clothes, dried. Nothing is there. Okay, we all have been confined, blocked. So think, students, with our individualistic opinion, we start creating many negative perceptions against the natural and the seasonal aspects of the nature also. So here also the poet is saying, you brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Poking, creating actually, you can call. Creating in such an irritable way, okay? And then weaklings are the weak ones. And who are the weak ones? Maybe they are the poor who are without homes. Maybe they are the animals who are actually without home. Or maybe, or maybe the ones who are having neither facilities nor the arrangements that can be able to face the challenges of the blowing of wind, even the rains also. Like crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. So we are having a repetition of words like in the form of the poetic device, alliteration. The poet wants to convey one by one. Actually, from the frail crumbling houses, he starts its journey. Okay, he starts its journey from an confinement into the expansion. He says, wind is not only the spectrum and the fusion of air, but it is like the life that is full of challenges and obstacles. And who are the affected ones? As for the winds, the crumbling houses. The crumbling houses means the quivering houses, the vibrating houses, then the crumbling doors, then the crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies. Then he comes into the expansion. As in the life also, when the challenges are not faced by those bodies, by those people, who are weak from their hearts, from their life, from their body, from their mind, from their perception, then what happens? They are thrown out. As if a branch is able to face the strength of the wind, it remains. And that one which is not able, that is plucked out. The same happens with us also. If in the life we are able to ready to face the challenges of the wind, of the obstacles, then perhaps we are able to survive ourselves. Otherwise we will be eradicated, we will be washed away. So after this extension, a poem is getting connected with the real picture of life that we are seeking for, that we are made for actually. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Now here the poem is becoming metaphorical, and the poet is considering wind as a god. And with the three-dimensional theory, what? The god is for us creator, preserver, as well as the destroyer. Because whenever we are weak, whenever we are with crumbling spirit, then what will be there? The life itself will deny our importance. So here also, when there are the things like when a rafter, when a log, when a wood, when a branch becomes weakling or becomes crumbling, when it has lived its life earlier, when it has grown up to the old age. The same happens with the human beings also. And after this destruction happens, after this you can call eradication happens, that also is supposed to be welcomed and accepted. And it happens with any sort of medium. Maybe the medium can be any natural body, maybe the medium can be inevitable death also, but it actually happens. So the same aspect is maintained and is handled by the wind god also, as he found those crumbling rafters, logs, even the weaklings and the doors and windows. He crushes them all. Why he crushes them all? Because now there is no indication of life in them, and when there is no indication of life in them, then there must be death that should be approached to them. And if we don't want it, it cannot be possible, because he does all this thing with the pre-scheduled and pre-decided what to call scenario and the parameters of the universal measurement. Okay, so what we think that is beyond those measurements, so he won't accept, and even he won't follow the things. So that's why he is saying he won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. But if you want to expand yourself, if you want to enhance yourself, to surpass the energy, then you will have to be stronger. You will have to be, get more energized. Okay, if it connects with the homes, crumbling houses, then build strong houses so that they can be able to surpass and surmount the energy. Let's join the doors firmly. This poem now becoming with the universal message the poet wants to convey to us. If we are all together, if we are all in a happy and in a comfort world that is created by us after joining hands with each other, then perhaps we will be able to heal each other. Okay, we will be able to overtake the strength of the wind, the strength of the obstacles of the life in such a way after cooperating each other. That's why he is saying, let us join the doors firmly, practice to firm the body. Because your inner spirit, your inner strength, that is the ultimate, that is the ultimate spark of ignition that can be able to hold you throughout in any kind of challenges, in any kind of obstacles. So he is expecting, actually he is invoking in the form of the obstacles of the lives that will be inevitable and that will be predicted for everyone, that everyone has to face it. So to overtake those things, everyone has to practice it to firm his body, to make his body stronger. Make the heart steadfast. You will have to be stronger, not only from the body, even from the heart also. Because sometimes when the mental challenges, when the mental obstacles will be faced, you should be able to affirm, you should be able to, you can call stabilize yourself mentally also. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. So if we are weaklings, then what will be? We will not be able to surmount the energy of the wind, and it will be unsurpassable for us. But when we expand ourselves up to the extension of the wind, then what will be there? We will be able to be friend with the wind, and the wind blows out weak fires. And students, keep in your mind that life welcomes, life respects only the ones who are able to fight the challenges of the life. Those who are weak, they are blown out. They are actually eradicated. They are actually washed off, as you can see with the example of the wind also. When it blows in the forest, all the weak branches, all the dry leaves, they are scattered first and they are taken by the wind with itself, with the journey, with the unremitting journey, with the unending journey. So if we want to survive ourselves for a better time and for a more and more beautiful future, then we will have to be able to firm with her opinion. We will have to be strong on behalf of the mental and physical status. Otherwise, we will be taken out from the scenario, from the vistas. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. Because when you see wind blowing out the fire, you just see it when the fire is with its full strength and strong, then the same fire is taken in a more way, which is stronger, which is more energized. As it happens, like the fire with strong sparks, with strong flames, okay, it is nurtured by the wind. It is taken, okay, to an unlimited extension by the wind. And when the fire is weak, it is blown out by the wind. So if we want to be weak, we will be blown out. If we are able to, make ourselves stronger, then we will be taken more, okay, into the more expanded scenario with the wind, with the power and with the strength of the wind. His friendship is good. It means when we are able to be friend with the wind, and if we are able to make ourselves stronger, then this friendship will make us more beautiful, more stronger. We praise him every day, and we will be able to praise him every day, respect him every day, regard him every day, instead of the time when we were actually pouring our hatred and our dislike at the beginning of the strangers. So everything lies inside ourselves. If we are strong, we are able, we are able to be friend with the strong things. If we are weak, we will be denying, we will be complaining against the strong things.